action.
And action. Welcome, everybody. We are on day three. And I tell you what, we every day we're upgrading just a little bit. Not only because of the guest that I have here today, Miss Julie Paterson, the one, the only, but if you listen, music underneath. You hear that music underneath? It's a new addition. We're kicking it up a notch or two. So welcome everybody, day three. Today, day three of 21 days of powerful breakthrough. So today's topic is all about fret for nothing, worry about nothing, and the idea that God will guard you and stuff. So, Miss Julie, what'd you think about this when you read this? What popped out at you? Anything that stood out about, I don't know, about God, about us?
Yeah, well, Michael kind of mentioned we have some history with some really tough times that we had gone through. And that was about 10 years ago, give or take a few months. And I was still pretty, I would still say I'm still a new Christian, but back then,
It's all relative, yeah.
Those times really, really helped us dig deep. And it really, really helped my faith grow.
Yeah.
So when I was reading this, since those times, I'm not saying that a worry doesn't go through my head.
Yeah.
But
right.
I know God is going to be there.
Yeah.
I know God already has the answer. It might take 2 years. It might take 2 days.
Right.
Who knows? So through that time in our lives, that season in our lives, I grew in my faith like crazy amounts. So now when we come up against something, an obstacle, whatever, I immediately go to God.
Yeah.
That's my first thing always. And I don't really worry anymore. I just take it.
Yeah, and you learn that over time. Like you build that track record over time. But you're a veteran Christian now, though, so you got enough of a track record. But I think that's what sometimes you have. I think it's the reminder to look back and be reminded, he's done it, he's come through. Like, why would he be different now? That was the other thing. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Well, something I think about is the more you worry, the less you hear God.
Oh.
Because you are worrying so much, you're trying to fix it yourself, and you're not hearing what God's telling you to do.
That's a good one. Write that down, everybody. The more you worry, the less you hear God. I think that's true.
Yeah.
Because we're always trying to claw at things.
Right.
Trying to answer, find an answer and make that happen. And I think that's a mic drop. We could probably just mic drop right there and just be done. This point there's a couple things that stood out to me about this that I liked. It talks about in the devotional part that there's 3 stages that you find yourself: waiting, receiving, or moving. And I thought, wow, there's that time of so there's sometimes when you're just waiting. And I think as a church, that's kind of where we're at. We're kind of waiting for an answer a little bit, and it's like being ready to receive. And then the question is, when is it time to move? When is it time to move forward? And no matter what, God's always consistent,
Right. That's it. It's like, but that's the thing is like, even with our scenario with looking for a building and trying to make that all work, are we like trying too hard to do our own thing?
Yeah.
Are we hearing what God is saying to us? You know what I mean? So it's, obviously pray.
Yeah.
Because it's a big deal. And so if we're not praying about it, we're not going to hear about it.
Yeah.
He knows what we want. He knows what we need. He knows where we need to be. So are we hearing what he's telling us?
Yeah, and he can make it happen. He can. This idea of moving mountains. That God can move mountains to meet needs.
Yeah.
And you've experienced. We've experienced it. I think about how God did the unthinkable, during our fire season, and how he moved mountains to meet our needs, like things that were just so insurmountable.
And just put people in your life.
Yeah.
That, just the same thing. I was thinking about that earlier, when we went through that tough time, or even like with my stepdad, it's like people in your life that you didn't realize were going to be so such a integral part of what was going on. So just have that. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people.
That's
believers, non-believers, anybody. Obviously you don't want them to take you down. You want to be able to be lifted.
And then that's where the phrase in here that God will give you a peace that transcends understanding, that some versions say that doesn't make sense, or that passes all understanding. That sometimes when you experience that enough, you realize that God, like, you can have that peace, that freedom from anxiety, that a lot of people that are far from God, that don't have that relationship, be like, why are you so calm? How do you get through that? And
it doesn't mean you don't stop trying to help yourself.
Right.
God's giving you resources. He's showing you resources. So that's what you need. Yeah. So the worry's not there, but you still have to be in action.
That's the move part. You got to move.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good word. Thank you, my friend. This is day 3. So just a little something to kind of get you guys thinking about today. If you haven't already read this, and think it through and process through some of these verses, and just keep waiting and being ready to receive, and then be ready to move when God calls you to move. And we're doing that together as a church. So we're grateful that you joined us, and we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for day 4. So thanks, Julie.
Welcome.